This essay example, as well as thousands of others, is available in text format on our website for free and without registration. Simply Google Ivy Panda Free Essays.
The Bhagavad Gita, also referred to as Gita, is a Hindu scripture comprising 700 verses. Gita is a conversation between Lord Sri Krishna and Pandava Prince Arjuna during the onset of the Mahabharata war. Lord Krishna takes it upon himself to respond to the ethical confusion shown by Arjuna due to the debacle with his cousins, and informs Prince Arjuna of his mandates and roles as a prince and fighter, elaborating on the teachings by Samkhya, Karma Yoga, Yoga, Moksha, and Jnana Yoga, which are so evident in the Bhagavad Gita. Being a religious book, it talks about the true meaning of life and connects man to divinity. Several teachings are highlighted by the 700 verses of the Bhagavad Gita. The teachings of the scripture can be grouped into four main topics. They are God's universality, personality, personal emancipation, and the link between the world and a person. The Gita teaches people to undertake their obligatory duty as an offering to God. Although Bhagavad Gita seems to support the path of devotion, the scripture's teachings have connections with other pathways that include the path of action, Karma Yoga, the path of knowledge, Jnana Yoga, and the path of denial of connection to the fruits of one's deeds, Karma Sannyasa Yoga. The path of knowledge, Jnana Yoga, is the first stage in the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. One gets self-knowledge by way of thinking and evaluation and gets the knowledge of the importance of attaining salvation and discovery of themselves. Once the person acquires knowledge of the scripture and issue related to the inner self, he or she turns to the path of action, which teaches about how an individual can fulfill one's duty towards his or her family, oneself, and the society by undertaking the obligation as a sacrifice to God. The pathway of action culminates in Karma Sannyasa Yoga, through which an individual realizes from experience or knowledge that it is not one's action but the attachment to the fruit of one's action that is accountable for his or her bondage. As such, the scripture teaches one to renounce the sense of his or her actions and offer the fruits of his or her deeds to God. The Bhagavad Gita teaches people to acquire divine qualities and purity to experience deep commitment and absolute love for God. Service to God, as taught by the scripture, encourages one to surrender his or her life and time in his or her service to God and mankind. When one's devotion reaches its peak, God responds by offering great love just as promised in the scripture and liberates one from the everlasting bonds of worldly life. If one follows the information from Bhagavad Gita, it is obvious that the scripture talks about the holistic celestial struggle that needs individual mental and physical chastity, commitment to one's calling, and commitment to the Creator to be emancipated from the bondage of the world. This analytical essay on Bhagavad Gita and its teachings was written and submitted by a student just like you. The Ivy Panda Samples database hosts thousands of works similar to this one, on various subjects. Visit ivypanda.com to find what you are looking for, free of charge.